I want to dive straight in.
No, I'm going to get in trouble.
Really?
Yeah.
Home and away. Let's talk about it.
Why do you think you came in with that confidence?
Why did you go from NIDA then to kind of psychology?
How would you overcome some of those bad days?
No, they use this word famous. I'm like, that's not what it is to me. It's I've got a role and I'm going to get paid for it. And this is my full-time job. And that is cool. I mean, I went through breakups. I went through, not body issues, but just like days that I just couldn't fit into my gear. It was tough because it wasn't just like a month shoot. It was 3.5 years.
So, on today's episode of Behind the Curtain, we've got Courtney.
Hello.
Hello. And this is what I've written for you.
Mm-hmm.
Courtney
From Wikipedia.
Whoa. Yeah. Courtney began her acting training in 2013, engaging in programs at the National Institute of Dramatic Art. In 2022, she graduated from the full-time theatre and screen program at 16th Street Actors Studio. In 2018, Courtney made her television debut on Home and Away as series regular Bella Nixon. She appeared as Bella again in 2022 for a revival of the role. Courtney was awarded a top 20 position for the Carmen Duncan Scholarship at the American Arts Film and Television Academy. At the 2019 Logie Awards, Courtney was nominated for the Most Popular New Talent. Courtney has also worked at Stage School Australia as both a drama teacher with AYT and screen acting tutor with TCA. We welcome her to the show.
Yay, thank you.
Bang. Bang. So, tell me, how are you?
Good. I got my hair done yesterday.
Oh, it looks great. It looks really
Thanks,
good.
Aidan.
Nah, the platinum. Is it platinum?
It is.
Yeah, love it.
What was
Love
it
it.
before?
Regrowth.
Okay.
The more we do these episodes, the more it's like, oh yeah, we really need to get our hair done.
Yeah.
I've also run out of clothes.
Same.
I've
and
run
I don't
out.
want to spend money at the moment.
No.
So.
But like, I was asking the guys in the office, I was like, so what should I do? And they're like, oh, you can layer a shirt over a t-shirt, or you could like just try all these different combinations. And I was like, oh yeah. And I'm really running out of
You've
combinations.
only had 7 people. That means you own 7 shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I own 4 shirts, 3 t-shirts. It's a minimal life, you know.
Okay.
When Aidan went to Canada, he was saying how he bought 1 item.
That's crazy.
No, sorry, 2. A jumper and a drink bottle. And that was it.
You don't need what you don't need, you know.
That doesn't work for me.
Oh, why? Do you have a lot of
Constant.
a range of attire?
Shopping.
Constant. In 2022, I said to myself, this is your New Year's resolution to only buy thrift store items.
Yeah.
Probably 2 weeks I lasted.
And then how are you? How's your week been? How's your year been?
It's February, but yeah, it's going well.
We're 2 months deep.
Yeah. It's good. It's slow on the acting front. It's busy on the teaching front.
Yep.
And I am just going, I'm in the mind of moving. So
Yeah.
and
Moving houses.
Moving states. I'm going back to Sydney.
Cool.
And just ringing mum every 2 days being like, what am I doing? She's like, it's fine.
Is your mum here or Sydney?
She's Sydney.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but she's my go-to girl
Yeah.
to help me with anything. So I just ring her all the time.
So what's going on with these existential crises?
It's just a flow of being a performer and an artist and just going with the flow. But also got a really I'm an organized person.
Yeah.
So like it's hard to have that difference.
Has that been difficult then? Obviously having to go with the flow, but then having ebbs and flows with work?
It is, but it's been my life a really long time.
Okay.
I've never known the 9 to 5, so I don't know a difference.
Okay. I think we should I want to dive straight in. Home and away. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
How'd you land the role?
Love.
Where were you?
I was 21. I can't remember where I was for the first audition. I was at uni, post-grad.
Did you have an agent?
I had an agent, and I got an agent when I was about 13. Mm-hmm. I did a short... I have to go back, Aidan. I have to go back in time.
Ruining the timeline.
Yeah. So I was in this short film by this great upcoming director. She was in year 12, and her sister was really into acting, and I played one of the main roles with my mum.
With your mum?
I'll never do that again.
Is she an actor?
No.
Oh, okay. Noted.
No. Pardon? So random.
random.
Well, she needed a mother that looked like me.
So
that's convenient.
We went genetics. I like
Yes.
it. I like
will
it.
never happen again. And it was quite a heavy story. This young girl was very, very sick. So yeah, I was very young, very unskilled, but this girl said, get an agent This is a child agent that you should get. And I did that, got a few ads from that. Then I finally got a little bit better, got a new agent, and then from that booked the role of Home and Away. After auditioning for about 3 roles.
3 roles within Home and Away?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like constant audition. Yeah.
And so
you had multiple auditions with them before you landed this role?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And this one was perfect. It's the funny thing with acting is you know the role is perfect for you, and the hustle, I was like, oh, we've got to get this. But also being chill and not affected if you don't. It was a really hard balance. And I was at uni and I was like, okay, so I'm not going to be a counsellor or psychologist. I'm going to be an actor. Like, this is what I'm doing.
Is that what you were studying?
Yes, I studied psych, and then I studied rehab counselling.
And is this up in Sydney?
This was Sydney, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that's, okay, very different to then reading that out. So
Yeah.
at what point did you go from, because studying at a young age at NIDA, why did you go from NIDA then to kind of psychology?
Yeah. Family, not family pressure, family push.
Thoughts, opinions?
Yeah, I was a sailor. My dad is a massive sailor. He was a sailor for his whole life, and this is going to go somewhere.
Okay, I believe you.
And he made me be a sailor. I hated it. And at 13, I was like, that's enough. I don't want to do this anymore. On Sundays, I want to go and act.
But you were sailing instead.
But I was sailing instead. As you can tell, I knew what I wanted to be, and sailing was not it.
Yep.
So at 13, I went to acting school, and that's kind of when it started for me. Studied a lot, and then it got to leaving year 12, and Dad said, I'm so happy for you to be an actor. I just want you to have a degree, just so you have a backup. And I was fine. I was like, yep, cool. I'd love to do that. Loved psych, loved learning about people. So I really went into the depths of learning about mental health, and I was working for volunteering for Lifeline and doing all that. So I was really into it. And then I got Home and Away, and I had to kind of walk away from this helping life into this glamorous life. And that was a bit tricky, but also it was a dream come true.
Was there a reason that you were leaning towards the helping people route?
I felt I was good at it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was always counselling my friends when I was young.
Cool.
About ridiculous matters.
Yep.
Yeah, it was just a good fit.
Okay. Yeah, very cool. And then so landed the role, A Life of Glamour. What was it like? So when you got the role, did you know the longevity that you have within the show?
Yes.
So
I
you
knew
knew
that
it
I
So
was
they were upfront that it was a long-term
Yep.
commitment.
Absolutely. And you would know some roles you get for a year and you end up staying 3, but I knew that I was a 3-year, and I knew whom I was playing. Like, I was playing the sister of this person that was already on the show. So I was watching the show going, okay, so that's me. Because they were talking about her.
Oh,
yeah, it was
in
really
the setup.
weird.
So then what was it like? First day on set, obviously having known that.
Yeah.
What was it like? What was the experience like?
It was terrifying.
Yeah. Would you say you were 21?
I was 21.
Yeah. That's young.
Yeah, playing a 16-year-old. So that was tricky, but I just looked young, so it was fine.
Yeah.
Luckily, the character was meant to be terrified, so I was just being myself.
A true actor.
Yeah. I was just like, this is it. The first day was a location shoot, which means you go out on location, you're not in a set. And it was where Bella Nixon grew up. So it was this broken down house. I don't even know where it was, somewhere west in Sydney.
Oh, so you filmed in Sydney?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep. All filming was in Sydney. And I was working with my brother on the show, it's my fake brother, Tim, and my other fake brother on the show, but he was like my half brother, Paddy. That's their real names.
Yeah.
And there's huge jokesters. So I was having a really good time, but also going, what are my lines? What are my lines? What are my lines?
Did you feel confident with your lines going in, or did you feel like you could just never prepare enough?
I was confident with the lines. I just didn't know how I was going to say it. I had years of training. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But I just... And watching it back, I'm like, oh, I did not know what I know now. Of just chilling, I say chilling a lot. I don't like it. Of
Settling.
calming the body, settling, and just letting the words come out. So I came to set knowing all my lines without a script because I thought that's what you did. No. For a soap, you have your script almost up to action because it's so fast.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, because there's so much content?
So much content.
And they expect
okay.
you to have it there.
No, they don't expect you. If you went to a set of Home and Away and looked in all the couches, you'd find so many scripts. Like it's
Just like pocketed?
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that the actors are not working hard. It's just go, go, go.
Yep.
Yeah. So I didn't know that the first day that they were on their scripts. I was like, why has everyone got scripts?
This is so unprofessional.
Yeah, I
Like,
thought so.
Why am I coming in here?
Yeah, and then by week 2, I was like, yep, give me a script. It was crazy.
I guess I would certainly feel a lot calmer knowing that that's there.
Yep.
Just knowing.
Yeah, but then again, it tricks your brain into thinking that you don't have to know it.
Yeah,
and therefore
yeah.
you're not in the moment.
Yeah.
But it's just impossible to learn that much content and
So
shoot it within an
quickly.
hour.
How did you deal with, like, you know, you come to work, you have a bad day. It's like, guys, don't talk to me. Having a terrible day.
Yep.
You obviously always have to be on.
Yeah.
And your personal life cannot impact
Yeah.
life on set. How would you overcome some of those bad days?
Yeah, it was tough because it wasn't just like a month shoot. It was 3.5 years of every day. But to answer your question, cry before the set, cry before the scene,
Get
wipe
it
your
all
tears
out.
away. The makeup girls were so good. They would just have to keep dabbing your face. I mean, I went through breakups. I went through, not body issues, but just like days that I just couldn't fit into my gear, into my costume. As women do, they fluctuate heaps. Or days that I didn't like my acting. Yeah, everything. But you just had to keep going. Yeah, because everyone was in it together and everyone cried together and been like, you're good, babe, you're good. Come onto set. Yeah. And leave
also have those life challenges. Like everyone would have to sort of go through that experience themselves also.
Yeah.
Personal life interfering and...
Yes. It's just that you had to put an outfit on that wasn't yours and makeup and hair that wasn't yours. I found that the hardest part when I wanted to be grounded in my own self because I didn't feel... I just, when you like just want to put your trackies on.
Yeah.
And I had to put a tight
Daily.
dress on. Yeah. And then be on show and for it to be around forever.
Yeah.
So I got used to seeing myself and I got used to being okay that content's out there. I honestly, if anyone wants to take a photo with me, I'm like, oh, there's so much out there. I don't care.
So when you first got the role, what did people around you, what were their kind of impressions? Actors and non-actors,
Yeah.
Family, friends.
Because it's that considering the size of the role, the length of the contract, it's a pretty big gig.
Yeah. I was an extra on Home and Away when I was 16. So I had been on the set.
Yeah, you knew what was going on.
I did not know what I was doing. But I was so interested in between the extra and full-timers relationship. I found that really weird. But I remember, and this sounds arrogant, but I remember looking at them and being like, it's okay that you don't want to talk to me because I'm going to be one of you. Which it was just
right.
I remember the day I thought it. I was like, that's okay. Don't worry. I'll be there.
We'll chat soon.
Yeah.
We'll be chatting soon.
Did you have a lot of support from your friends and family?
I did. Oh my gosh, they were very, very excited. But they were, it was hard because the parents and the family and the friends were more so like, oh my God, that's like, they use this word famous. I'm like, that's not what it is to me. It's, I've got a role and I'm going to get paid for it. And this is my full-time job. And that is cool. My acting coach actually said, don't do it.
Really?
Yeah. I still work with him and he's still a big part of my life. He just wanted me to do great acting. And I was like, that's okay. This is a stepping stone for me and this will teach me so much. And then from there, I will train a bit more. Because soap acting is very, very, very different. It's very precise.
Precise?
Yeah.
This
is how I explain it.
Okay.
Soap acting is like you mean what you say and you say what you mean. So if your character says, I'm sorry, they are sorry and they're doing it with, I'm so sorry, it's my fault. And they truly believe it.
Yep.
Whereas non-soap acting, you don't necessarily have to mean it. You can go, I'm sorry I did that to you. I don't mean it, I'm using subtext more. Whereas a soap, there is no subtext.
Yeah.
Nothing, there's no subtext.
Everything you see is what you get.
Yeah. And I was really good at that. I'm not so good at the subtext. And that's what I really had to start training into.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at least that you knew that was something you had to focus on.
Yeah. And that's what
And your acting coach
Yeah.
was like, you do subtext.
Yeah. Yes. Once you're off it, you've got to learn to start listening to people again. Because you can't listen because people do listen on the show as actors, but you're too much like, what's my line? Oh, your line. Let's not stuff the time frame that we need to film this in, which sounds awful, but it's a long running show, and it's a beautifully tight ship. What's that saying? Well-run ship.
Well-oiled machine.
Where's the ship come from?
That's okay.
We
It's the sailor in you.
Yeah, you're a sailor. Mate, they've got a product. They've got to put it out, you know?
Yeah. And they do it well, and the actors work so hard.
Yeah.
And so do everyone, like the producers, directors, everyone.
Are you auditioning at the moment?
I am. So I finally got a really good agent that I'm really happy with. Not that the other one wasn't good. It totally depends on the relationship you have with the agent. This one will send things back if they don't think it's good, which I love.
Could you actually expand a little bit on that?
Yeah.
Just the relationship you can have with an agent?
Yes. So, tricky thing is getting an agent that gets you in the room. That's the hardest thing. All my friends are really struggling with that. They've got the agent because there's hundreds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're getting put up for the audition, but they're not getting the role. So it's kind of like, well, what are they doing wrong? In that kind of way, you want an agent who's like, okay, this looks wrong. Your headshot's a bit off.
So they give you that advice?
If some agents
If it's the right person.
Yeah.
Gotcha, okay.
And that's why it's...
Fighting for your
They
success.
really develop
Yeah.
you as a product.
They need to, but also some agents have hundreds of people on their books and they don't have time to. And if you're not booking, they're not going to put any effort into you, which makes sense. Like it
they're a
sounds
business.
awful. They're a business. They're
Yep.
a business. So it's kind of half. I tell my students it's half, not my kids. Get an agent. Start hustling, guys.
Guys,
No.
I know you're 13, but
Yeah,
come
seriously. Do the short films that are free to do. You know, find them on Star Now. Gotta hustle that
Yep.
way because your agent is not. Unless you've kind of got a credit, which I have got one, which has kind of given me a leg up. But even I'm struggling, and I had 3.5 years on a show.
Yeah.
But it got me a leg up to get an agent who is going to work for me, and who is going to give me good feedback.
And so is that something that you would recommend to young performers who want to get out there, is just to hustle and put yourself out there and
Yeah.
try and get your own gigs, especially in the early stages?
Yeah. So I always tell my students, don't worry about the agents just yet, because if you're not ready to put down a self-tape, it's not very good because you haven't trained.
Mm-hmm.
The casting directors are going to see that, and they're going to remember you, and they're going to remember that you weren't great then.
Yeah.
So if you keep, in the future, it might stuff up your possibility of getting something because they've remembered a tape that you put down when you were young and just weren't ready. So I just think you've got to be ready. You've got to know how to do a self-tape, how to make it look. And this is obviously speaking from someone who's only got experience in that they're doing it.
Yep.
I have got I'm not a producer. I don't know what the casting directors are really thinking. I'm on the other side of that.
Sure.
But yes, so platforms, you've got your Star Now, which is kind of free to sign up. Just be careful. If you're young, get your parents to help you look at the roles that are coming in, because some of them are really dodgy.
Yeah,
So
okay.
just make sure. Really read, if they send out contracts, read what the contract is saying and just make sure that it's not dodgy. It's one of those sites that obviously have been there for a while, and people know it's there, but they also not sure about it. But from what I've seen, I'm not on it, but I've seen that good things come of it.
Yeah.
Probably mostly not paid, but that's okay. You've got to start.
Experience as well.
Yeah. So that, be an extra. Get an extra agent. There's agents that specify specifically extra-ing. I don't know if that's the term for it.
Yeah.
And they also do ads, but they're mostly extra. And it's just getting work experience and getting a bit of money for it. So that's good. Say you've got the agent, you're getting the self-tapes and you're getting in the room, which is now you in your own room with a blue wall or a grey wall with your camera.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's in the room.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
good.
It's literally in a room. Make sure the background's really good. White doesn't look good. A lot of people do white, but the reflection looks funny.
Go blue.
Well, I've been
Ooh.
told I look better with grey. So no one knows what they're
Okay.
doing. No one knows. Even agents, I think casting directors are like, I don't know.
Do blue, do grey.
Yeah.
Don't do black.
Well, someone told me in America, blue means you're under 18, which doesn't apply here. Doesn't apply in Australia.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. So that's why like the colours are all off. I think you've got to
Crazy.
find what makes you look better. Sometimes blue, when I watch my students' films, self-tapes back, they look too close to me because the blue pushes them forward somehow. So just, if that's the case, pull out the camera a little bit more and crop it a bit differently.
Yeah.
But yeah, have a really clear background. Make it to your bristles. I think it's called bristles. No, I'm going to get in trouble. Top of the head, hardly any room. A lot of people do it up here. Crop, tiny. You want it to scrape your head almost so that you're teaching people, the people that are watching it can watch nothing else but you. And it makes such a difference when the framing is really good.
Okay.
Yeah. Or get Les Chantery's book, Life in a Mid-Shot. It's very good.
Les Chantery's book.
He didn't pay me to say that. Don't worry.
Well, he might now.
He
so.
might. Yeah. It's very good. It teaches you a lot. And it's self-tape is not like being on set. It's very different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask what? Because I think you've touched on this a little bit. But what is the dream? And it can be, but it can be, it can be what the dream is now. But it can also be, because I think it's interesting to see where artists think they're going to be later down the track as well. So like 10, 20 years. Because I guess, my vision for myself in 20 years is very different to what I'm doing right now.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
both sides, what's the dream?
It's so hard because I dream so big that it's just so
Good.
unreasonable.
Nah, what is it?
I want
Same.
to live on the moon.
Same.
I want to live on the
We're
moon.
dreamers here.
Yeah,
too.
right.
A table of dreamers. Nah, go.
Oh gosh, I really want to crack the American market.
Cool.
I hate myself for saying that. It just sounds so.
It's all right, leave us.
Ugh.
It's fine. Leave us.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
American market, which I've got a toe in, but it's just getting a green card. I really want a green card through the lottery. I think I can be here. And I want to live there for a bit just so I know what it is like to be an American, because here I am auditioning for these American people. I've somewhat got the accent, but I don't know how to be American. They're so different.
Yep.
And
In mannerisms,
their talking patterns.
So
Okay.
you're
different.
actually auditioning for American roles.
Yeah, correct. I do mostly American actually, because my Australian agent also has American connections, and a lot of productions are actually filming here because it's a bit cheaper for them.
yes.
Yeah.
Queensland?
Yeah, Melbourne and Sydney. Some in Tassie.
Okay.
Yeah. Or they're American companies. Yeah, American companies filming here, or they're Australian companies or directors with American producers. Yeah. So it's a really different style.
Have you been close to getting anything?
I have. I've been really close. Like
Oh.
top 2 and then another one top 4, which is so annoying.
That's
Like
so cool.
at Christmas when people are like, how are you doing anything? And I'm like, here's this email that said I got top 2. Do you want to read it? Because that's all I
Well,
got.
it's bound to happen.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I want to be living in America, but I want a life here.
Okay.
So I want to do that thing.
Yep.
Of course, I want like the loving family. No, I don't know if I want a family, but I want the loving partner who's also in the biz and gets it, and I can have that life where I'm just constantly going to and fro. That is the dream. Yeah, and traveling when I want to.
Anyone advice who are trying to get onto Home and Away or?
I mean, I always
Specifically.
think I have a lot of students come up to me and like, how do I do it? And I can see this look on their face that I've had for 10 years of like, I will not be happy unless I make this a thing. Just because I talked about Hollywood doesn't mean that Hollywood is the goal. It's actually the process, and I have so much fun acting. And if it's something you should do if it is more joy to you, even with the ups and downs, than having a job that is a 9 to 5. And I say that because it's just more corporate.
Yep.
Do it as a hobby if you want to. If you want to make it a career, find ways to take the stress off it. I do art. I teach.
Do you
Have
find
lots of
teaching?
I love it. I don't
Yeah,
want to be
cool.
a teacher, but I'm weirdly good at it. It's because I'm so passionate about myself as an actor, and that's just how it comes out.
And I think I sent this in an email to you, but yeah, watching you in the TCA kind of workshops and just watching you work with the kids, that really comes across. It comes across that you care about getting Susie in the corner to make that monologue the best she can do it.
Yeah.
And then going around the circle, yeah, I think that's very evident in the way you teach.
Yeah,
so,
thank you.
No, I back
yeah.
that.
No, I do.
100%.
I love it.
When are you off to Sydney?
Well, I'm going to Adelaide. Come see my Fringe show. This might not be out.
No,
But
do it.
I'm performing in Adelaide for the Fringe, which I'm so excited. And then it's kind of, pack it all up and go by the end of March, early April. Yeah. For no other reasons than I want to change.
Yeah, I was going to ask why the move to Sydney.
Yeah.
Not for a gig?
Not for a gig, unfortunately. My agents are there. So it feels fine because I'm leaving a big city for another big city.
Mm-hmm.
If I was going back home to a smaller city, I don't think I would feel as comfortable. So I don't feel like I'm going backwards, which is really cool. It's just kind of like, what's next? I'm a bit of like, I love change. I hate staying in one spot too long.
Love it.
Yeah. I know the TV world there because I came from the TV world here.
Yeah.
I know the improv, not that I do improv theatre world here.
Yeah.
I actually enjoy it better here because I found the people who are on the ground rather than the people who are successfully working, whatever that means to someone. So I'm actually excited to go to Sydney to find the ground. I want to find the little theatres. I don't know where they are. I know where STC and Belvoir are, but here I know what's going on, and I'm actually too comfortable. It's like I've got great teaching jobs.
Yep.
I found my great friends, but I need to go explode my mind.
Rate it.
Love it.
Watch it explode.
Watch it explode.
Well, Courtney.
Thank you.
Thank
It's
you.
been amazing.
Thank you. I feel like I talked a lot, but
No.
I guess that was what
That's
it
the
was for.
point. That's the point of this. Thank you very much for coming on.
Great having you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye.